I went to Paris to study and experience Impressionism. So here I am in Gare du Nord, northern train station in Paris. First thing I saw was this skylight, this humongous skylight made out of millions of little crossbeams that held the glass. And I imagined there would be like a steam engine train blowing off steam, and I would be standing right in the middle of Monet's painting. And when I walked out of the train station and started walking on streets of Paris, I was just blown away. I was just in shock. And then I decided to go to that art school, the famous Parisian art school, École de Beaux-Arts, School of Fine Arts. I remember standing in the admittance office trying to register, but I could not speak French. Kind of not one word. And I walked to this woman, girl that was there. She kind of looked American. And I said, "Can you help me to fill out this application?" And she said, "Oh, hi. You speak English?" I said, "Yeah." She spoke English. She was American. Just said, "Oh, you don't need the application. Just take your, canvas, paints, brushes, just go to any class, set it up, and start painting. No one's going to ask you anything." That's what I did. I bought the canvas, paints, and brushes, and just went to the class, set up the canvas, blank canvas. There was a life nude model. There was a life painting class. And I started painting. And I remember teacher came to me, looked at my painting, said something in French. I didn't understand one word he was saying. I said, "Merci." And he walked to another student. And she also said that if I need a place to stay, there's a bookstore called Shakespeare and Company. It's in the Latin quarters, right on the left bank of Seine River, pretty much right across of Notre Dame de Paris, the famous cathedral. And she said that the owner of that bookstore, it's an English language bookstore, the owner of the store is George Whitman, and he claims to be great, great, great grandson of Walt Whitman, the American poet. And in the morning, this man that looks like he just stepped out from Charles Dickens' novel, sharp goatee, hair standing up, mustache shooting sideways, walks in with the silver tray with the Parisian breakfast. And he starts reciting to me in Russian This Russian poem, who happened to be one of my favorite poems, written by Lermontov, a very famous Russian poet, the contemporary of Alexander Pushkin. Белеет парус одинокий в тумане моря голубом. Что ищет он в краю далеком, что кинул он в краю родном. Под ним волна светлей лазури, над ним луч солнца голубой, а он мятежный ищет бури, как будто в буре есть покой. So he recites me this poem in Russian with a very heavy English, American English accent. And he said, "Why didn't you tell anybody that you were Russian?" I didn't know. Well, it turned out to be he's a huge fan of 19th century Russian literature. That downstairs to the left, if you face the store, is a special kind of a boutique store that's part of Shakespeare and Company with this an incredible collection of Russian books in Russian classics. Turgenev, Tolstoy, Dostoevsky, Chekhov. This winter in Paris, I didn't really have warm clothes. It got dark real early. I started reading these books. I started reading Dostoevsky's The Idiot, Brothers Karamazov, Tolstoy War and Peace. And those writers are extremely existential. They're very, very depressing, very sad, very melancholic. I remember sinking into this deep depression. Those Paris years, those Paris years, had such an impact on my life that if I had to live my life again, I'd definitely do it again, even though later nothing really came out of it. But then again, it all depends how you look at it. What it taught me is the appreciation of art, because I try to do it myself. I know how impossible it is to paint a masterpiece. What an ultimate sacrifice it is. And when I see one, that's when it happens. That's when that Paris year is becoming such an important memory, such an important part of my life.